There's quite a lot of evidence from research with people who rely on social assistance to suggest that when they receive their employment services from case managers trained in motivational interviewing, it makes a difference to their success in the labour market.
MI means to me people entering the labour market who would never have considered leaving income assistance. They're coming out of poverty because parents are entering the labour market. They're moving towards education when at one time they'd never even dream about that. And now they're thinking, why not? Who says I can't? And so that's what MI means to me, is connecting with those people that were forgotten.
When someone can find them within themselves the change, it's so much more powerful. It's so much more effective because they then own it, and then they can move forward, and we can be able to help support them along the way, partner with them along the way, but they're doing it. They're the ones that have made that decision.
MI is a goal-oriented, client-centered counseling style for eliciting behavior change by helping clients to explore and resolve ambivalence.
In motivational interviewing, we have a framework, and it's called the 4 processes. The first process is engagement. That's like building rapport. Second process is focusing, like setting an agenda. What are we moving towards? And the third process is evoking, and that's the actual MI session. And we would only use that process if somebody's stuck. And then the last process is the planning process, which is what all practitioners are so familiar with. Let's move to planning. But before we move to planning, we want to make sure somebody isn't ambivalent about change. And if they are, go to evoking first.
In the past decade, there have been 3 studies in Western Canada adopting a very rigorous design. 2 in Manitoba and 1 in BC. These researchers randomly assign people to program and control groups so they are sure that motivational interviewing is making the difference. Results published so far show motivational interviewing added at least 7 or 8 percentage points to the rates at which people took up work after starting employment services.
I would share an example of my client. He was a severe alcoholic. So we were going through the process. He didn't like it. We rebooked the appointment. He came back again. I again wore my MI hat on, and we talked about the benefits, the strengths. This person is now sober, and he has cleared his real estate exam, and he's a realtor now.
Some of the challenges of getting case managers to use MI is lack of support from their supervisor. It can be policies that don't line up with motivational interviewing, and the expectation is to use MI to move clients forward, theoretically, but policy isn't supporting that. There's a conflict for the case managers. So there has to be a clear message that supervisors support it, managers support it, upper leadership support it, and there's time for the case managers to learn and practice MI. If they're supported, they'll stick with it. If not, you can train an organization and put a lot of investment financially into training the case managers. Unless they're supported, they'll go back to their old approach, usually within 3 months.
Together with what we are learning from the latest study for the BC Centre for Employment Excellence, it would make sense for decision makers in employment services to support case managers to use motivational interviewing more often.
It has brought more confidence in the work I do, and has changed my outlook of how I look at people.
A little bit about me is that I was once like a client. I was once stuck, and single mom with 3 children, living really stuck, and somebody used a different approach with me, and I moved forward, and here I am years later with a master's degree, completed school when that was not even something that I could have ever imagined doing.